Welcome back to Watching Business Incorporated right here on Channels Television. Let's see if we can have that Naira conversation with the President, Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe. Mr. Gwadabe, can you hear me? Good afternoon. Hello, Mr. Gwadabe. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I hope it stays that way. So let me just start by asking, how much is the Naira trading for now against the dollar?
Our quote rate, we buy at 980 and we sell at 1,020.
Okay, so you buy at 980 and sell at 120. Okay. So who would you say is responsible for this continuous appreciation of the Naira from your perspective?
Well, it's a long journey, you know. It did not start today. There are many factors that combination of those factors that really helped in achieving this fiat, even though it happened faster than expected. So I want to congratulate the management of the central bank for the first time in history over the past 15 years. We have never seen where even the open market is lower than the CBN rate. So kudos to central bank and congratulations, Nigerians. There is calmness now. We have not been seeing speculation coming into the market, which hitherto has been one of the albatross that is keeping the Naira under pressure. This, what you are seeing now, is to show what happened before has no any economic fundamentals. It's just a bubble, and the bubble have busted. So, and this happened with some stringent, concerted policies, stress test policies that started from the unification of the market. It came with a mixture of feelings, a lot of disequilibrium. However, it has finally achieved its objective of convergence. All is to converge the exchange rate so that we can have a single market rate. So congratulations to the presidency also by achieving this fiat of convergence. This is a journey of from 1986 when we created, introduced structural adjustment program. We have had whole Dutch auction system. We have had retail Dutch auction system. Many policies.
All right. All right.
This is
so
why
it looks like we have
travelers
to
now have relief of traveling. So many factors have come together, the CBN policies, the regulators, and the operators.
All right, Mr. Gwadabe, let me just risk and ask a second question. Do you see this as being sustainable?
Back, and it has helped. The recent policy that non-allowable, allowing FCY account or domiciliary deposit as long collateral, it made a lot of people to be dumping dollar. Of course, the achievement of Dangote now too, I think, is also a very important factor. The pressure of dollar demand from oil companies have now disappearing. So a lot of policies that are putting in place are working effectively.
All right, Mr. Gwadabe, is this sustainable? Do you see this appreciation as sustainable?
Honestly speaking, I am sure the government, the central bank have their target. I'm not a regulator. I'm not the Minister of Finance. So I will not give a target of what they are looking at, but I'm sure they have a target and they are ready to achieve it. Yes, keeping it continuous is also a political will. And I think the presidency have the political will to ensure that that target, in fact, they already have a budgeted figure of what it's going to be. So people can work around that, and I'm sure that's where also the government is working around. There is a lot of confidence back. I heard you when you are talking about the fixed market, how investors are getting confidence. We have seen how central bank treasury bills have been oversubscribed. And then we have seen how they have also corrected the flows of diaspora remittances. Now they are having a chunk of diaspora remittances coming in because of so many policies of the central bank that try to calibrate how the inflows should be coming in, even though there's a lot of gap that is not coming, that's still externalized in the diaspora window. So first is for the CBN. I'm happy the new guideline of the central bank for BDC operations in Nigeria did recognize the Bureau de Change as agent of IMTSO. That will bring in over $15-20 billion annually, because there are a lot of IMTOs over there that don't have the last mile. And lack of having that last mile, I mean, somebody to do their transaction here, to terminate the transaction here now. So having BDCs that can now be terminating as their last mile agent, in fact, will generate nothing less than $10-15 billion annually. Then two, the government should, the government should also de-risk export. The contribution of our non-oil export is not more than 4% to our GDP. So we lack standard, we lack quality, and this is a hanging fruit too. We need to have a paradigm shift from depending only on 80% oil. In pre-independence, most of the projects done in Nigeria are done with the process of agri-process. So we should begin to think on how do we go back to our pre-colonial areas so that we can diversify our income. I heard the Minister of Finance talking about revenues increasing. Alhamdulillah, revenues are increasing. Also, the crude oil production is increasing. The last I read is from 1.3 million barrels per day to 1.6 million barrels per day. So investors are also coming in there because there is also that of investment in even the oil industry. So we need bigger investment, complex investment that will come into that sector to harness the potential resources, huge resources.
All right, Mr. Guadabe, well, those oil production numbers, you call those things that are not as though they were.
We should use this opportunity.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we should look at empowerment. Our youth should be empowered. We can even start exporting human beings, skill, brains. We have a lot of them. We have art, we have music, we have IT. So, for instance, Bangladesh now, they export their people to Saudi Arabia. They do most of the job in Saudi Arabia. If you see the huge remittance, personal home remittances that Bangladesh are sending from Saudi, you can't believe it. We have Nigerians already. There is what is called Japa. Let us formalize Japa with skills and specification and standardization. That will also help the youth. It will also help the country in terms of foreign reserve. So these are some of the things that I believe the government can put in place and help and sustain the achievements so far.
All right, Mr. Aminu Guadabe, President, Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us.